Today we're going to go over and learn how to graph or remind ourselves how to graph inequalities. So when we talk about inequalities, we have the less than symbol, the greater than symbol. We also have the less than or equal to symbol and the greater than or equal to symbol. So if we talk about graphing, then let's say we have x is greater than 5. That means x can be any number bigger than 5, but cannot be 5 because it must be greater than 5. So we graph our answer on a single horizontal number line. We're going to put 0 and we're going to add a 5 just so that we can see where the line actually is. If the symbol is one of these two symbols, then we use what's called an open dot, which just looks like a circle. Whereas if the symbol is a equal to symbol on the bottom, then we use what's called a closed dot, which means that that value is included in our answer. So since x is greater than 5 does not have an equal sign, we're going to use an open dot. We place it on the 5, and then we think about what would be greater than 5. Numbers like 6, 7, 8, and so forth. So we're going to shade to the right. Also, if you have the variable in front with the arrow pointing one direction, the symbol pointing one direction, the direction the symbol points is the direction you shade. So I would shade everything to the right up to the arrow. And that would show anything greater than 5. Let's look at another example. Let's look at x is less than or equal to 3. So I'm going to draw my number line. Less than or equal to means that I'm going to have a closed dot. So I'm going to put a 0 on there for my line, and then I'm going to put the 3, and then I'm going to use a closed dot on the 3. And if my variable is in front, then that shows the direction I shade. So the arrow or my symbol points to the left. So I'm going to shade everything to the left, all the way to the arrow. Let's look at another example. Let's look at -5 is less than x. I'm going to switch this to another form, that way my variable can be in front so I can see which direction to shade. So since x I want on the left, I'm going to place it on the left. The arrow is facing towards the -5. So when I redraw it, my arrow is going to be facing towards the -5. So basically I flip it. Then I can easily graph. I'm going to put a 0 on my line, and I'm going to put a -5 on my line. It is going to be an open dot because there's no equal sign underneath. And I'm going to shade, since my arrow is pointing to the right, I'm going to shade to the right. That means any number greater than -5. The only other part we're going to look at today is we're going to look at some vocab. What words would I use to say that are kind of tricky? Less than, greater than, less than equal to, or greater than equal to. So if I use the term at most, meaning at most you can have a 90. So I'm going to put 90 down. At most. Does that mean I'm going to go bigger than a 90 or less than a 90? If it's at most, 90 is the highest, so I'm going to go less than a 90. And if I say at most, can I get a 90? Yes, because the highest is 90, so it's going to be less than or equal to 90. Another one is at least. If I say you need to make at least an 80 in this class, that means you need to make an 80 or bigger. So I'm going to place my x and my 80 there. I know that I need to make bigger than an 80, but I also can make an 80, at least an 80. That means bigger than an 80, 81, 82, and all the way up, or equal to an 80. We'll learn some more words tomorrow.